Ah, I spy with my keenest of eyes he who thwarteth the evil of yesteryear. What a pleasant surprise it is to see you again. Would that I could say the same for that lot. The Continental Circus, you see, has arrived once again, as it does every year, when it comes time for All Saints' Wake, bringing ghosts and pumpkins and all manners of rivalry to Eorzea. I suspect, however, that the troupe is planning something rather more sinister than the distribution of sweet treats. They're fell fiends in disguise, you understand. It's just what they do. I have been unable to discern the nature of their vile plots as yet, but I am certain that something is afoot. Thus, I do ask that you assist in my investigation. I need you to sneak up on the impresario, learn what manner of entertainment the troupe is offering this year, and perhaps trick him into revealing something of what they are really planning. I will continue to observe the other members for any sign of suspicious behavior. Seasonal event accepted. It's like, let's get a dyslexic guy to read on the spot. A horrifying All Saints' Wake to you. But yours is a face that I have seen before. My, it's always such a pleasure to see a soul who appreciates All Saints' Wake. Oh, All Saints' Wake, those unhallowed nights when we may feast and frolic free from prying saints' eyes. Mortals once feared it, and it's true, hiding from the creatures that stalk the shadows, but now it's perfectly safe. All the better to cast cares aside and enjoy the devilish surprises our troupe has prepared for the occasion, while they're positively dreadful, if I do say so, mace. Getting cut off. Oh, impresario, it's dreadful, dreadful, I say. I raised the airman myself, cared for it ever since. It was a beady eye, new, torn from the void, and an unscrupulous peddler of exotic pets, and now it's deserted me. I feel so betrayed. Do you mean to say that the circus airman has gone missing? I suppose you do, as we've only the one. This is troubling indeed, my dear fellow. Might I ask you to aid us in searching for the missing creature? I hate to think that it might become of it, were it to be spotted by one mistook for an agent of evil. You can count on me. How dreadfully kind of you. Now we're I an airman, though I most certainly am not. I believe that I might find the crowds of the city intimidating, in which case I had best turn my gaze upon the surrounding wilds instead. Perhaps the central shroud to begin with. I can't have gotten far. Let's see here. All right. Bop, bop, bop. Search for the circus airmen near the jaded flood. Oh, easy breezy. Teleport because I'm lazy. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us live. Right now I'm just capturing some footage for the event, for auspicious or posterity, in case anybody does not get to do it and would like to watch it. Looks like some people have gotten theirs. There we go. Oh, I know you. I know you well. Are you acquainted with this little one? No, I'm not. It tells me that you've been working with the circus, but it struggles to satisfy the impresario's demands. Oh, sweetheart, you're not a disappointment, and your eye is charming. Yes, it is. Perhaps you are somewhat different, but that's nothing to feel ashamed of. Isn't that right, hero? Impresario, over here. Ah, you found it. But why did the two of you not return right away? I just got here, dude. I was talking to this other lady. What happened to the pumpkin-headed lady? A pumpkin-headed woman who disappeared without a trace. Why, you could only be speaking of the legendary leader of the armies of darkness, the Great Gourd herself. I jest, of course. The ogre Pumpkinhead would hardly break her silence after all these years to speak with you. What I meant, of course, is the Great Gourd is merely a fable. If she were real, I'm sure she would be delighted, no, honored to know you, as are we all. May you possess a spectacularly spine-chilling glare. It's enough to terrorize a void scent. In fact, it is so very horrific that one was seeking to train the art of the dread gaze. There could be no better instructor, not even among fiends. And as it happens, we are indeed in such of a tutor. We are the contemptual circus and the standards of maintaining, you see. To play a part of our troupe, one must be to project a certain air of airiness, all in the name of delighting the public, of course. Alas, our friend here's gaze is somewhat less than dreadful, which simply will not do, particularly for an airman. I'm sure you can understand, unless your tutelage, however, it may yet become a valued member of the circus. Marvelous. Then it's decided. Our airman shall be your pupil. He seems pleased. I suppose you will need to learn to ride it if you were to train it properly, though. Come, I'll show you. And once you mold it into the monster that inspires the deepest dread, a force for evil that renders even the most stalwart of mortals voiceless and trembling, our true work will begin. We shall usher into the night of devilry at long last, recall the Great Gourd from her slumber, and feast as the world cowers before us. So what happens when you go to the first? You leave the children to play. The airman is well trained, or at least I thought so, until it ran off for me. In any case, you ought to bear you as a passenger without objection. I ask that you help practice gazing upon unsuspecting fools until it gets the hang of doing so dreadfully. When it has learned to perform to your satisfaction, please accompany it back here to me. I should hate to be abandoned by my own airman again. I understand that it is a bit round, so if you fall off, return to me, and I will help you repeat yourself. Now go on and get up. You go. Back, fiend, or you should taste my blade. Oh, that was rather festive, actually. And that hat, it's fantastic. Dear me, I had nearly forgotten that All Saints' Wake season's upon us. Fiend slaying can wait. I must don my guise post haste. It's really been a long time since I've been A, back on the first, but B, in the Central Shroud. This is bringing back a lot of memories. I don't know if anybody else kind of feels the same way from time to time. Oh my, what an adorable giant eyeball you are. All dressed for All Saints' Wake too. I wish we were celebrating instead of training out here. Slay 3 squirrels, they said. It'll be a challenge, they said. You know what? I'm done here. I'm going back to town to stuff myself with pumpkin cookies. You gotta love the localizations team. Little tongue-in-cheek. The Ardent Adventurer. Well, that was very weird of you, but it won't scare me away from my hunting spot that easily. Oh, you're with the Continental Circus? What a coincidence. I love All Saints Wake. I'm out here hunting for diorite webs to decorate my cottage for this occasion, in fact. But if the festivities have already begun, I must hurry back to Gridania. I would hate to miss a single ghost or void scent or spider. Let's see, yeah. It's been a while since you logged on, Sparta. I think a lot of people were excited about 5.1, but it's, yeah, definitely, the game is definitely in that lull period right before 5.1. I still randomly get a queue on the server, which is kind of nice to see, ultimately. Dude, I hear you, man. There's a lot of really good games out right now. Have you beaten Fire Emblem Three Houses? You must have been terrifying. I saw 3 people running in such speed that they could only have desperate for reach and safety of their homes. Extraordinary. I'm ever so slightly offended that the airman seems to have responded better to your training than mine. But what matters is that it's proven itself useful. But we can hope that it's enough to satisfy the impresario. I don't think either of us could stand another lecture of the fundamentals of fear. In any case, he ought to be informed of your progress immediately. He doesn't like to be kept waiting. And back to the amphitheater. Oh, yeah. Ah, you returned, and now did the airman fare in its lessons. Oh, also, Rolling, thanks for the Twitch Prime sub. Splendidly, I sent not merely 1, but 3 souls hastening home to quiver under their blankets. It has clearly been, etc. It's not entirely accurate in a manner of speaking. That's absolutely positively what happened. I will lie to you. Just as I anticipated, an instant you fixed me with your stare, I knew it's true. Evil lay within. I am delighted that you were able to share a bit of that with our airmen. And you, young airman, congratulations. You have proven yourself to be a worthy member of our troop. Go forth and terrorize the masses. Yay! You traitorous little... You want to go with him? Huh. I am not certain we can afford to part with such a valuable asset. On the other hand, so long as it continues to terrify, it needn't necessarily remain here and be of assistance. In fact, traveling would bring it into contact with even more victims. Very well. I am moved by your heartfelt plea, Airman. I will permit you to leave of absence as long as you continue to emulate your horrifying companion. Guide it well, adventurer. I look forward to seeing what horrors visit upon the realm. My foolish children, ever eager to reclaim what was never truly lost. Its devilry makes it a different form, but the night goes on haunted by the monster. And although you may think absent, so do have fun. There we go. You've returned at last. Did you uncover the unhallowed plots? An attempt to train the airmen to terrorize the populace, but it's your friend now? Well, as long as you possess no risk to others, I don't see any harm in accompanying you, although I will make a note of this to the guild record just in case. I appreciate your willingness to get hands-on with the investigation. Speaking of which, for my part, I observed the troop moving large quantities of supplies and issuing invitations to some manner of gathering. Based on past experience, I cannot help but have bad feelings about this. Circus Resonator. I have an evilish eye. Haunted grounds. You're willing to help me investigate further? That's a relief. One simply cannot be too careful when it comes to the Continental Circus. I know not whether you yourself have yet received an invitation, but the troupe is once again hosting a masquerade event in a vacant manor nearby. Now, they've received no complaints this year from those who have successfully attended this event. However, others have reported that they were escorted to what they assumed was a venue for the masquerade, only to find themselves pursued by fiends throughout the echoing corridors of the haunted mansion. I grant that some people enjoy that sort of thing, bizarre though it may be. However, the guild would be remiss if they were not to ensure that none have become lost or trapped in such a clearly unsafe location. We can hardly ask that the troop in its cooperation in this manner, as I doubt their intentions and terrifying unsuspecting revelers are pure. Of course, that only other option is to infiltrate the manor, and this is what, of course, I would ask you to pursue. I believe that your first step should speak with the illusionist over there. Over the course of my observing the troops' movements, I have seen her conversating with at least 2 people that would later report to having been to the haunted manor. Okay. The enthralling illusionist. You want to enter the haunted manor? Then of course you may. How could we refuse someone so charmingly foolhardy? You need only to speak with the dear Harlequin guides to be escorted to the site to your future nightmares. Of course you may want to ask a teensy little hint of how to survive before you do, else you mind shan't remain tagged for long. Our manor isn't like the dreary, unpredictable spaces of your mundane world, you know. Oh, it has rules to be sure, but they are fewer, and the consequences for breaking them are all greater for it. Good luck, dear. Complete. Seasonal event instance unlocked. You know, access the haunted manor. Da, da, da. Cool. What's he talking about? A glamorous guise. On my bone-chilling friend, you were a dreadful help with our airmen. I feel like I simply must repay you in kind. Thus, I do extend you an invitation to the grand event, a scrumptious masquerade where you may reveal your heart's content. We have prepared a thrilling manner for our guests to explore, and all they encouraged to attend guides their choice. To you, however, I would offer something rather more extraordinary. Within the manor, you will find an associate of the troupe who is frighteningly well versed in the art of glamours. You will undoubtedly note his terribly convincing guise. I shan't say a word more, lest I spoil the delights that await. If you would state your curiosity, then I must speak with him and go. Go on now, don't delay. The Genial Geyser will show you the masquerade. Alright, let's see here. Oh. Nice, dude. Welcome to Arna Manor. Complete 3 of my terrifying tasks and you shall have your reward. Curious aspirations. The Templar immobilize anyone they detect and experience. The meter shared by the entire party. Once it reaches 0, you'll be ejected from the instance. Discover the combination and say the numbers while targeting the coffer. Okay, no pumpkins in here. The 5th number is 7. Second, 7. So X7XX. I go that way. Have a good day, sir. Hey, Sullivan. Good morning to you. Are there any numbers upstairs? Nice. Seven, 2 and 7. Shoot. Not finding any pumpkins. Like, my keyboard not working? Right. Alrighty. Here, room 106. Okay, second number is 7. Sweet. Arg. New task. Pumpkins abound, but only one is use the smoke bombs and look for the telltale blue. Dadgummit. Got it. Got it. Light the lanterns. Scoop up the smoldering coals and light the jack-o'-lanterns. Smoldering coal. Okay. No jack-o'-lanterns there. There we go. You light the jack-o'-lantern. Working the main floor. Smoldering coal. That's the jack-o'-lantern. Shoot! Ah! Jack-o'-lantern. Can't light it without a coal. There we go. Boom. Here, take your cookies. accommodation. And making some experience because I voted for my comms. Alright, so let's see here. Seasonal event complete. I love that they just can let me in to run around. All right. Okay, is that all the seasonal event stuff? I'm guessing so. More pumpkin cookies. Here's the vendor. Fantastic All Saints Week advertisement. The pumpkin carriage. You need 3 cookies. I've got 5. Alright. You get some pumpkins for a cookie.